You better watch out. You better not hide. If your doors are open, we're coming inside.
Harry
And Marv
are coming to town.
When you research the production of Home Alone, it's amazing that everything came together as well as it did. And not only that, the movie would become the highest grossing comedy at the time. The film bounced from Warner Brothers to Fox shortly before filming began, with principal photography lasting just 83 days. This left just a couple of months to get the movie edited, mixed, and ready for release.
Think positive, Frank.
Oh, you be positive, I'll be realistic.
As the studio wanted to start advertising in time for the quickly approaching holiday season, a rough cut of the film was used to piece together the first trailer. As such, there are a surprising amount of elements in that first trailer that never appear in the finished movie.
Kids are stupid. I know I was.
You still are, Marv.
These range from a few extended scenes to a character that's not even in the movie.
Who are you?
While some of these deleted scenes had been released on DVDs and Blu-rays of the movie, bizarrely, none of the clips seen in this trailer have ever been amongst them.
What did you mean about that I had an edge before?
Huh?
What did you mean that I had an edge?
Well, I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
So why is that the case? Well, usually the more and more a film got edited down, the less and less that deleted footage was saved. As the movie got more and more trimmed down, some of the deleted footage was saved to use in TV edits though.
Disney World? Disneyland?
Hence why there are a lot of cinema quality deleted scenes available from this movie.
Made it too strong. Just steal something that know how to work.
It's good.
Several films I've talked about in this series have been John Hughes productions, and that's not just because I'm such a huge fan of his movies. I lean towards discussing his films because he wrote such expansive scripts that usually got refined during shooting and later editing. These scripts serve as great blueprints in detailing omitted scenes. Home Alone is such an interesting project to look back on because of how much Chris Columbus then refined John's story, such as expanding on the Old Man Marley character and the removal of several scenes that would have altered the movie's tone. For example, in Hughes' original script, there's an elaborate scene that was later cut, which would have showcased a nightmare that Kevin was having, where the entire house came to life and attacked him.
Woof.
Point being, I'll be working with a lot of material this time. One of John's original scripts, a rewrite which includes material added in by Chris Columbus, the deleted scenes available on DVDs and Blu-rays of the movie, promotional and behind-the-scenes videos, and a few additional sources found around the internet, to present the lost version of Home Alone.
Get me!
Now, the one thing that's surprising in examining these deleted scenes is seeing how cynical the movie almost was. The film perfectly sets up how overlooked Kevin feels amongst his family. It hits the right balance between making the audience feel sympathy for Kevin and distaste for his family. Mainly this guy.
Look what you did, you little jerk!
But here's a couple of deleted exchanges that level that distaste up to full-blown hatred.
You know what they're gonna call you in France, don't you, huh?
No.
Yank!
You little creep!
Here's another deleted snippet that shows Uncle Frank was even a jerk to his own kids.
Hey, you, punk. Sur le floor.
Another scripted scene that isn't in the movie or the released deleted scenes shows that it wasn't just the holidays that Kevin felt fed up with his family. Before switching over to Angels with Filthy Souls, Kevin was watching a McAllister family home movie. Close-up television set. The McAllister family video is playing. The image is a handheld shot of a Bush's Gardens brochure. Camera zooms back to reveal that Megan is holding the brochure. She's wearing a nightgown. The drapes are drawn. Kevin is in his pajamas. We hear Peter narrating. We're here in our luxurious hotel at Busch Garden in Tampa Bay, Florida. Close-up Kevin. He's sitting in his father's chair in the family room watching the videotape. He's eating a huge bowl of ice cream. Between bites, he dips Cheetos into the ice cream. He's drinking a Pepsi. Close-up television. Kevin is now standing next to Megan. He slips on an elephant mask with a rubber trunk. Buzz steps into frame. He's in shorts with no shirt. Our first guest is Kevin, the elephant boy McAllister. Hold on, Dad. Elephants don't wear. Buzz slaps his hands to Kevin's hips and yanks down his pajama bottoms. Pajamas! Oof! You little bastard! Cut it out. The camera swings down and goes off. It goes back on with Kevin yelling and screaming to Peter. This is the worst vacation of my life! How would you like to have somebody pull your pants down in front of female relatives with big mouths, huh? The filmmakers wisely cut out this scene, as it really would have just fueled the audience's dislike of Kevin's family. Speaking of the McAllisters, Peter McAllister's brother Rob and his family barely appear in the final cut, though they originally were supposed to have a few more scenes. Here's one that takes place their first night in Paris. Before leaving, Rob again glances back to Peter and his family. "You guys sure you don't want to go out? See the sights? Gay Paris at night?" "Not me, I'm gonna stay on the phone." "Kids?" The kids shake their heads. No energy. Depressed. Rob understands. Uncle Frank, trying to be helpful but coming off as incredibly insincere, puts his arm on Peter's shoulder. "Want me to stick around? Help out? Make a few calls?" "It's okay, Frank. Go out. Have fun. We'll be alright." Uncle Frank gives a relieved smile, exiting with the others.
Why did you get here? How do you like it, huh? You jerk!
And here's another one involving them that has been found.
Hey, look, there they are.
Oh, wave to your cousins, girls.
Look how happy they are to see us.
Hi, Kate. Hi, everybody, welcome.
Get something to eat, and then we come back for some more holiday surprises. Huh?
Another element wisely left out of the final cut is any scene or line of dialogue that remotely humanized the Wet Bandits. In a few deleted scenes, we get to hear the motivation of these two characters.
Remember the good old days when people used to stay home for Christmas?
Yeah, now it's off to Hawaii, or Aspen, or Paris.
Whatever happened to sitting around the fireplace with your family?
Yeah. Roasting chestnuts. Singing Christmas carols.
That's why I hate Christmas, Marv. I hate it. People have become too cynical, too jaded. It's just another sign of the ongoing moral decay of contemporary society. That's all it is.
Now, this might not seem like it justifies them robbing the whole neighborhood, but it's the closest we get to hearing the film's villains defend their actions. Later in the film, a line was cut that suggests that Harry has an even deeper motivation when he says this: "That house is the difference between having a good Christmas or a bad Christmas. And Marv, I ain't had a good Christmas since 1962. That long? That long." You can see how this line was cut out seamlessly using a shot of Kevin to hide the gap.
That house is the only reason we started working this block in the first place. Ever since I laid eyes on that house, I wanted it. So let's take it one step at a time, okay?
There's little remnants like this throughout the script that suggest there was a larger backstory to Harry's character. Here's another deleted scene that's been gaining popularity around the internet that also humanizes these characters a bit more.
Oh, you better watch out. You better not hide. If your doors are open, we're coming inside. Harry
And Marv
are coming to town.
These scenes were left on the cutting room floor, as the filmmakers felt that having the audience feel any type of sympathy for these characters would lessen the comedy payoff when they get their comeuppance later on. This is something the last Home Alone sequel could have learned from. Also, what's going on with Harry's hat here? Were they experimenting with different wardrobes at this point? In the script, Harry doesn't even wear a hat, and after getting his head torched, Marv would have said,
Why the hell did you take your shoes off?
"Why the hell did you set your head on fire?" There's even a couple of bits in the script where Harry and Marv's lines are reversed than what ends up in the movie, like the scene where Marv overhears the TV. It was written that Harry overheard it originally. You could even see the dialogue pretty much stayed the same, it was just switched between the characters.
Two of them. There was arguing. One of them blew the other one away.
Who?
I don't know. I thought I recognized one of their voices. And I know I heard that name Snakes before.
Snakes? Snakes. I don't know no snakes. Are you afraid to go out the window, Harry? I'm Harry.
A lot of the dynamic between the Wet Bandits was altered during filming, based on the real-life chemistry of Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern.
Not out the window.
Marv, I'll
Look
tell
out the window.
everybody at the bar. Come on.
Now, coming back to that first trailer, there is a baffling addition that makes no sense. This guy. Why is he only in the trailer?
Are you here all alone?
I'm 8 years old. You think I'd be here alone? I don't think so.
He's delivering dialogue that is delivered by the cashier in the final cut.
Where's your mother?
My mom's in the car.
Where's your father?
He's at work.
What about your brothers and sisters?
I'm an only child.
Where do you live?
Can't tell you that,
Why not?
because you're a stranger.
What about your brothers and your sisters?
I'm an only child.
Where do you live?
I can't tell you that,
Why not?
because you're a stranger.
In none of the scripts I could find was he even mentioned. Was he someone's uncle or the manager of the grocery store that required a cameo? I mean, he's not a particularly good actor. He's not even present during the bloopers for this scene.
And where's your dad?
She's at home.
She's at home?
No, he's at home.
Oh, he's at home. Where's your brother?
Oh, he's at home.
Oh, he's at home too, so everybody's at home?
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by this mystery.
Allow me to introduce myself. Gus Polinski. How are you? Polka King of the Midwest.
Another trim segment in particular that has always fascinated me is the extended Gus Polinski sequence. In most drafts of the script I could find, John Candy's Gus Polinski only gets one dialogue exchange, the scene where he meets Kate at the airport.
Yeah, we sold about 623 copies of that.
In Chicago?
No, Sheboygan.
This suggests that every scene between the two of them that followed was completely improv by Catherine O'Hara and John Candy.
We left the little tyke there in the funeral parlor all day. All day. You know, we went back at night when we came to our senses. And
Speaking to Insider in 2020, Chris Columbus went on the record about this, saying, "John Candy was on the movie for only one day, but it resulted in so much great improvisation. None of that stuff was in the script. The funeral parlor story, that was all improvised at 4:30 in the morning. We could barely keep a straight face on set just listening to John." If there's one thing I've learned about covering John Candy movies in this series, it's that he loved to improvise, and John Hughes loved to encourage him. We've gotten to see this firsthand, with the work print footage from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and Uncle Buck.
2 points.
No doubt this type of footage exists somewhere from Home Alone. In a 1994 TV tribute to John Candy, one of these additional takes was shown.
I just thank God for the Home Shopping Network.
Oh, really? Isn't that something else? Yeah, the wife and I use that. You know, we're actually getting this little set of Czechoslovakian crystal. Make these little figurines of reindeers. You get the 8 reindeers, and the 9th one, of course, Rudolph. They put a little ruby, it's a fake ruby, I don't know, a little red nose on it. It's cute as a button, though.
I was kidding.
And so was I. So was I.
It was amazing to see a man of this stature, who was this famous of an actor, come in and just give you take after take, constantly improvising, constantly willing to do another take and another take. He just was not ever tired, not ever exhausted.
To my knowledge, this is the only time this footage has ever been made available, but it does prove that it exists somewhere. At the very end of that original trailer, there is another line of dialogue from Candy that doesn't appear in the movie.
You know, I got a feeling this is going to be your best Christmas ever.
This to me suggests that a farewell scene was filmed between Gus and Kate. As Candy's whole performance was unscripted, it makes it impossible to find out what could have been said in such a scene, though Hughes' script makes mention of Kate exiting the van and saying goodbye to him. Exterior house day. Kevin in his pajamas. He sees nothing. He closes the door. A beat. The sound of polka music is heard. The van rolls in, filling the frame. Kate steps out of the van waving goodbye, thanking and wishing a Merry Christmas to the musicians inside. She gives a quick kiss to Gus. The van drives off. I guess it's not totally needed, but I always felt there should have been a proper ending to Gus and Kate's arc. Speaking of endings that should have been included, both scripts include a post-credits scene that should have been left in. Interior lockup. Close-up TV day. The gangster movie showing.
Too bad AC ain't in charge no more.
What do you mean?
He's upstairs taking a bath. He'll call you when he gets out. I tell you what I'm gonna give you, snakes.
Wider. Harry and Marv. They're in the day room watching TV with the rest of the offenders. They're dressed in blues. They look at each other. Looking at all of these omitted scenes really proves how important a collaborative film production can be. John Hughes and Chris Columbus worked really well together in refining the story, giving each other their own space to succeed, but also support when it was needed. It's a relationship between producer and director that seems so rare nowadays. Home Alone proves that this type of positive collaboration shows in the final product. In regards to some of this missing content, the only part I would really love to see surface someday is the extended Gus Polinski sequence, as I think any new John Candy footage is just a treat. The other deleted scenes, though, just serve to highlight what a great movie Home Alone is in its final form.
I mean, what can a kid do to us?